So with everything that's going on, you can't help but wonder, do the Republicans really want to stop COVID, or are they appreciating the damage it's doing to President Biden's standing? Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. If you share my concerns, maybe you could like this video and subscribe to this channel, maybe even click that little bell that will notify you when I post something new. So 8 states have banned any kind of mask mandate in schools. Guess which party the governor of each of those states is from? You'd be right if you said the Republican Party. And which states do require mask mandates in schools? Those states would all have Democratic governors as well. It seems clear that there's one party that wants to defeat the pandemic and one party that doesn't. How is this possible? I mean, Trump was a major failure in addressing the pandemic, and it galls him to see Biden succeed at anything that he failed at. We saw evidence of that when Biden was able to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill through Congress. Trump threw a temper tantrum, and Bob Portman, the Republican senator from Ohio, was quite surprised that Trump would be opposed to it after believing that this was a policy that Trump actually favored. But unfortunately, the Republican Party and Trump now don't favor really any policies, as was shown by the fact that they had no platform at their last national convention. The only platform Republicans have at this point is defeating Democrats. So Republicans don't care the damage that they do to the country if it helps them in their effort to do damage to Joe Biden. Consider the following. When Trump was president, the Democrats went along and made sure that the debt ceiling was addressed every time it came up, working with Trump to accomplish that, despite the claims that the Democrats were standing in his way. On the other hand, Republican senators have signed a letter saying that they will not assist the Democrats in overcoming the debt limit this year. What's the difference? You have a Democratic president in the White House. The efforts that Republicans are going to perpetuate this virus are really outrageous. I mean, look at Florida, where Governor DeSantis announced that he's actually appealing the decision that says that they can't take away money from school districts that are requiring students to have masks. And both Florida and Texas have passed laws that will shield employers and nursing homes if people who work there end up getting COVID, essentially protecting these businesses from legal liability and eliminating any incentive for them to try to protect their employees from this disease. In fact, that was one of the policies that was included in the special legislative session that Governor Abbott called in Texas. And one of the pieces of legislation considered in this most recent special session was a ban on mask mandates in schools. Then in South Dakota, you've got Governor Kristi Noem, another superstar Republican governor, cheering the Sturgis motorcycle rally, where people were walking around without vaccines and without masks, resulting in major outbreaks of the pandemic, both last year and this year. The reality is, despite some efforts of the media to point out the fact that there is actually a relatively diverse group of people who are hesitant about taking the vaccine, the most direct correlation that polling has found is between political ideology and refusal to take the vaccine. In other words, Republicans don't want to take it. Why? Because somehow it shows that they're standing up to the libs and owning them. The efforts of the Republicans to gin up the Delta variant have been quite successful. There has been an impact on Biden's standing. And although it's tough to kind of tease out what are the different factors that lead to people changing their views of his performance, it is clear that a certain amount of the decline in his favorability rating is due to people's views of his handling of the pandemic. Good job, Republicans. And what's more is, as the economy was bouncing back, adding more than 1 million jobs per month, the most recent jobs report was disappointing to everyone. Although it showed increases in hiring again, those increases definitely slowed, largely because of the increase in the Delta variant across the country. Once again, good job, Republicans. They don't care if they hurt your job. They don't care if you lose your source of income. They don't care if they damage the economy, as long as they win. And perpetuating the virus while President Biden is doing everything he can to stop it is just one more way they can win. Well, if you agree with me or disagree with me, I'd love to see your comments down below. And if you could leave a like and maybe subscribe to this channel, that'd be a huge help. I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, let's Let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.